Hello and welcome to another video, fantasy football tournament series. In this one, I'm doing the Anglo Cup, the Anglophone Cup of English-speaking nations from around the world, and I try to make a diverse cast of participants here from Europe, um, North America, CONCACAF, the Caribbean, Africa, as well as Asia, of countries who have English as their first language or as a secondary language. So let's jump right in. In Group A, we have the host nation England, Jamaica, Gibraltar. I like Gibraltar's flag, it's one of my favorites. Ghana. Group B, we have Nigeria, Scotland, New Zealand, and Canada. In Group C, we have Wales, South Africa, the USA, and India. In Group D, we have Northern Ireland, Australia, Kenya, and Trinidad and Tobago. So let's jump right in with these groups for the Anglo Cup. Group A, England, Jamaica, Gibraltar, and Ghana. Gibraltar very, very clearly is the weak link here. I think England and Ghana should come through, but I'm actually going to go with Jamaica to come in second here. They finished second in the CONCACAF Gold Cup this past summer. They looked really, really good in defense. I thought that Ghana, one thing that was really striking about Ghana, why I think they are a better team, they did not win a single game at home in the final round of World Cup qualification. And that played a major contributing role to them not qualifying altogether. I do think Ghana has more better younger players coming through the ranks than Jamaica does. At the current moment, Ghana should still would be favorites to come out of this group, but I have Jamaica with a very slight upset here, though I don't really know if you can call it an upset at all, to be honest. I have England and Jamaica going through from this group, with Gibraltar and Ghana out. Group B, Nigeria, Scotland, New Zealand, and Canada. This is a difficult group. If there's any group of death here, I think it's this one. I could see a case for any two sides making it out, but Nigeria really should be too strong for any team in this group. Nigeria should come in first. And then it's going to be a three-way battle between Scotland, New Zealand, and Canada for second. Canada, as I mentioned in a previous video, has greatly improved in recent years. New Zealand has as well. They put on a respectable performance at the Confederations Cup and even held Peru to an all-square draw in the first leg of the final round of qualifying, when many people believed that they were going to be blown away. Scotland came close to getting a playoff spot in Europe, so all three of these nations here are improved from the last few years. I think New Zealand has the most international tournament experience, though, and I think that would help them here. I would narrowly give it to New Zealand to come in second. That's not to say New Zealand is better than Scotland or Canada. I don't think they're better than Scotland. I think they're just about on Canada's level, but I think the tournament experience and also being in the Confederations Cup, I think would prove valuable in a tournament like this. Group C, Wales, South Africa, USA, and India. I think it's Wales in the United States. I mean, South Africa really has been in decline lately. India is very much a minnow on the world stage. They would get 0 points from this group. So I think it would be between Wales and the USA for first, and I'll give it to Wales on goal difference. Then Group D, Northern Ireland, Australia, Kenya, and Trinidad and Tobago. Northern Ireland and Australia should battle for first. Trinidad and Tobago would make a decent threat. Kenya is an East African team. East African teams tend to be not as strong as the rest of the teams in Africa, West Africa, North Africa. It's been a long time since an East African team qualified for the World Cup. I do think Kenya would put on a good performance here, but I think the other three teams in this group would just be too much. I think Northern Ireland would just about top this group with Australia in second. So Kenya and Trinidad and Tobago out. So let's move on to the quarterfinals. Quarterfinals, we have England versus New Zealand. It's too tall of a task for New Zealand here. England would get to the semifinals. Wales versus Australia would be a very interesting match. And because of the dip in form that Wales took towards the end of qualification, when they really dropped the ball at home against the Republic of Ireland, and due to Australia's tendency to grind out results in tight games, I think that Australia would actually win this. Australia would narrowly win it, but I do think Wales are the better team, but it's really not by much. I mean, the margin here is pretty negligible. I would think Australia would just about get through. Nigeria versus Jamaica would be an interesting game. I think it would be very physical, but Nigeria is just too strong. Northern Ireland versus USA. Both teams came close to qualifying, but didn't qualify. This is difficult, but even putting my own bias as an American aside, I do think we're objectively better than Northern Ireland. Uh, I don't see very many stars on Northern Ireland, so I know Kyle Lafferty, Ward is also a pretty good player on there. They really got screwed over in that match against Switzerland. But I think Northern Ireland and the USA are just about on the same level as each other, and the FIFA rankings here seem to agree with me on that. So this one is pretty much a toss-up. Um, yeah, it's a toss-up. It really, really is a toss-up. But I don't know. I think push comes to shove when it comes to major tournaments. I feel like the US has more grit, as I feel in the last two major tournaments we've done pretty well for ourselves. We've punched above our own weight both in the last World Cup and in the Copa America Centenario. You say that, well, USA didn't qualify this time. Well, true, but neither did Northern Ireland. So this match really would be just about anybody's for the taking. And I don't think it's extreme at all to say that it's basically a coin toss. But something tells me I think we would just about nick it. I think the U.S. would go through. The semifinals, I have England versus Australia, Nigeria versus the United States. Australia would present a bigger challenge to England than New Zealand would, but England would just, I still think this is a match England should be able to win, and I think they will. Nigeria versus USA would be a pretty cool match, but the Super Eagles are flying high now. I think Nigeria would get to the final. So third, fourth place, Australia versus the United States. Two teams that have a very similar playing style. Two teams that rely on their sum more than their parts. I think this goes to penalties, and Australia wins it. So Australia will get third place. The United States gets fourth place. In the final, England versus Nigeria. This would be by far England's greatest opportunity to lose, and I think Nigeria's physicality will provide a really big challenge for the Three Lions. I don't see this being a high scoring game. I see it kind of being dull. Um, but I think England just has more tactical know-withal to probably just see this through. If it goes to penalties, England will lose. I mean, England always loses on penalties. If it goes to extra time, I could see it benefiting Nigeria. But I could see this being a really boring, like 1-0 victory for England here because they tend to be very compact. And, if Nigeria comes at them early with a high flaring tempo and nobody scores in the opening 20 minutes or so, I can see the tempo of the game sort of stabilize and die down, and England just gradually growing into the game, and hence why I said it becoming a boring affair. And then England grabbing a goal late on from like Harry Kane or somebody. Um, but Nigeria could very well win this. Yeah, I think it would be like a boring game. I'm going to say 1-0 to England. Nigeria comes in second, and England wins the Anglophone Cup. So England first, Nigeria second, Australia third, USA fourth. So far, all three motherland nations have won their tournaments, but don't worry, it's not going to become the same pattern for all of these videos. Not all motherland nations are going to win their tournaments, trust me. I know they won't because I've already thought it through, and I give my honest predictions of what I think would happen. So yeah, we have about 3 or 4 more tournaments that are based on countries that speak a similar language. And even though the first 3, Francophone, Hispanophone, and Anglophone, have all been won by the 3 mother countries, doesn't mean that it's going to be that way for the rest of the series. I promise it's not going to be like that. So leave a comment below, like, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one later, God willing. Till then, have a good one. Much love, and peace out.